Scorpio, the moment you saw the title of this video, a very specific face flashed in your mind, didn't it? That first instant, before your mind could argue with it, before you started making excuses for them, your intuition whispered, "It's that one." You didn't need to analyze, you didn't need proof, your energy already knew. This is not a random message floating on the internet. This is a spiritual interruption, a gentle but firm intervention from above. While you press play and sit here with me, something in the invisible world has already been moving to protect you, to separate you from a fake person whose mask is starting to crack. You are not here to be scared. You are here to be confirmed. You are here so that what your soul has been trying to tell you quietly, for months or even years, finally has a voice that you can't ignore anymore. You, Scorpio, were not created to be naive. You are not easily fooled. You see what others pretend not to see. You feel what others brush off. Your sign carries an X-ray vision of the soul, a spiritual radar that reads motives, not just words. And yet, even with this powerful gift, there is someone in your life right now that you have kept defending. A person you keep giving the benefit of the doubt to, even though your stomach tightens around them, your body tenses when their name appears on your phone, and something in you always breathes easier when they are not in the room. You might tell yourself, maybe I'm projecting, maybe I'm being too harsh, maybe I'm just sensitive. But God is whispering something very different. You are not paranoid, you are protected. The unease you feel around this person is not drama. It is data from your spirit. Think back for a second. How many times has something almost gone wrong for you around this person, but then at the very last moment it didn't? A conversation they tried to twist that somehow got interrupted. An opportunity they tried to block that still found its way to you. A rumor they tried to plant that never really landed. A decision you almost made because of their influence that for some mysterious reason you suddenly pulled back from. You probably thought it was coincidence, luck, or your own change of heart. But today you're being shown another layer of truth. Those moments were divine interference. There were hands you couldn't see, moving circumstances, shifting timing, turning your head, closing doors you tried to force open, because what looked like a gift was actually a trap. This fake person does not walk into the room with villain written on their forehead. They may be charming, helpful, spiritually aware. They might have the right vocabulary, the right smile, the right public image. They might show up at the right time, say the right words, offer you exactly what you thought you needed: support, validation, opportunity, love, comfort, connection. But underneath that carefully curated image, there is a disconnect between what they present and what they intend. Watch closely and you've already seen it. Their eyes dim when you share good news. Their compliments come with a subtle sting. They forget to pass along information that would help you. They show up when you're weak and strangely disappear when you're strong. They present themselves as safe, but your soul never relaxes fully in their presence. This is not love. This is not friendship. This is spiritual feeding. For some of you, this fake energy is a friend who always wants to know everything about your life, yet shares almost nothing real about theirs. For others, it might be a romantic interest who mirrors your words back to you like a script, but whose actions never fully match the emotional depth they claim. It could be a co-worker or business partner who praises you publicly, but quietly competes with you behind the scenes. It may even be someone from your spiritual or religious circle who uses God language as a costume, dropping his name in every sentence while their private behavior tells a different story. No matter what mask they wear, the core dynamic is the same. They are more interested in what flows out of you than in who you really are. They are attached to your gifts, your energy, your power, your network, your light, not to your heart. God has been watching the silent transactions of this connection, the little drains, the small betrayals, the subtle manipulations that others miss because they only see surface-level politeness. Your Creator is not neutral about what drains your life. The same way you would not stand by while someone slowly poisons your child, God is not standing by while someone with low integrity quietly poisons your spirit, your confidence, your purpose. That's why certain doors have not opened when this person stood too close to you. That's why certain blessings have been delayed, not because you're unworthy, but because mercy would not allow sacred opportunities to be placed in a space where they could be sabotaged. Sometimes divine protection looks like not yet, when what you really want to hear is yes. Sometimes protection looks like confusion, distance, or isolation, simply because you are being moved out of reach of someone who doesn't deserve access to the next version of you. You may have noticed that lately, the mask is slipping more often. The jokes that feel a little too pointed. The tone that suddenly reveals irritation when you shine. The way they talk about other people when those people aren't around. And the quiet part of you wondering, if you speak like that about them, how do you speak about me when I'm not here? The contradictions between their words and their patterns are getting harder to ignore. That's not your imagination intensifying. It's the light around you getting stronger. When God turns up the brightness in your life, falsehood has fewer shadows to hide in. You will begin to see small, undeniable moments of truth, a message sent to the wrong person, a story that doesn't line up, an inconvenient fact that slips out of their mouth because they forgot which version of the truth they told you last time. And yet, Scorpio, your heart is kind. For all your intensity, you love deeply. You might be tempted to keep making excuses for this person. They're just going through a hard time. They don't mean it that way. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm being too much. The world has taught you to doubt your inner knowing, to override your instincts, to be reasonable, even when your nervous system is screaming. But you are not given that legendary Scorpio intuition for decoration. It is a survival tool. It is an instrument of spiritual discernment. When your stomach knots, when your shoulders tense, when your mind suddenly goes foggy around someone, that is your inner alarm system ringing. You are not being called to panic, you are being called to pay attention. God's protection over you in this season is not just about removing this fake person. It is about teaching you a new level of trust in your own perception. You are being upgraded from simply feeling something is off to standing firmly in what you know, even when others don't see it yet. That means you may have to make decisions that don't make sense to people around you. You might choose distance, say no to invitations, share less of your life, stop telling this person your plans, step back from certain collaborations or relationships. Some people will not understand why. They may even call you cold, distant, dramatic, unforgiving. But they don't feel what you feel in this connection. They don't carry the responsibility of protecting your calling the way you do. As this divine protection unfolds, don't be surprised if the separation happens in unusual ways. It may not be a dramatic confrontation. There might not be a big explosion, an argument, or a dramatic ending. Instead, the universe may simply rearrange circumstances. Communication fades. Schedules stop lining up. Situations arise that make sustained contact difficult. Opportunities appear that pull you in a different direction. You might find yourself losing interest, feeling spiritually bored around them, no longer hungry for the crumbs of their attention. This too is mercy. Not every ending needs a fire. Some endings are like a candle quietly burning down to the wick, leaving you in a softer, truer light. At the same time, keep your spiritual channel open. This is a powerful moment to pray in your own words, to ask for clarity, to say, if this person is not for me, make it obvious and give me the courage not to fight your will. You don't have to chase proof. You don't have to become an investigator, digging through phones, stalking social media, interrogating mutual friends. When God wants you to see something, He knows exactly how to place the right information in front of you, at the right time in a way that you cannot unsee. Your role is not to obsessively hunt for evidence. Your role is to respond with integrity and self-respect when evidence shows up. You may also begin to see replacement energy ready to enter your life. As this fake presence is removed, new connections will quietly approach. People whose words and actions match. People whose eyes soften when you speak, not harden. People who celebrate when you win without needing to center themselves in your story. People who don't drain you, but leave you feeling strangely lighter after you talk. This contrast is part of your healing. It teaches you the difference between being constantly on guard and being truly safe. You will look back on this fake connection and wonder how you tolerated that discomfort for so long, how you convinced yourself that heavy, tight feeling was normal. Spiritually, this entire experience is preparing you for bigger assignments. Your future blessings require cleaner circles. The rooms you are about to enter, the opportunities aligning for you, the influence and resources that want to find you, they cannot be shared with just anyone. God is narrowing your inner circle not to punish you with loneliness, but to protect what He's placing in your hands. A disloyal heart sitting too close to your future could sell your vision for their own ego, leak what should stay sacred, or twist what should stay pure. This is why you feel the friction now. This is why the fake person's mask is starting to slip. It is time for them to exit the story, and time for you to stop dragging them into chapters they were never meant to inhabit. Through all of this, Scorpio, remember, you do not have to become hardened to be protected. Divine protection is not trying to turn you into someone cold, suspicious of everyone, closed off and bitter. The purpose is to make you discerning, not cynical, wise, not paranoid. You are allowed to continue being warm, intuitive, and emotionally deep, just not with everyone. You are learning to reserve your softness for the souls that can hold it, for the people who treat your vulnerability like a gift and not a weapon. The fake person in your life has been a harsh teacher, but still a teacher. They have shown you where your boundaries were too thin, where your empathy overrode your self-respect, where you kept seeing potential instead of accepting reality. As we reach this point in the message, let this truth sink all the way into your bones. You are not being abandoned. You are being upgraded. You are not losing something real. You are being freed from something false. The tightness in your chest will loosen. The overthinking will calm. The mental replay of "what did I miss" will begin to fade as clarity arrives. When all of this is over, you will walk lighter. You will hear yourself laugh in a way you haven't in a long time. You'll notice that simple things feel peaceful again, because your nervous system is no longer working overtime trying to decode mixed signals. You will look around at the people who remain and realize that what left your life was never meant to stay, and what stays is built on something honest. So as you move forward from this moment, pay attention to the subtle confirmations that follow. Notice the way your body reacts the next time you're around this person. Notice the dreams that surface in the nights ahead, the symbols, the warnings, the comforting presence that seems to stand between you and harm. Notice the conversations you randomly overhear that echo the same themes of fake energy, hidden intentions, and divine protection. None of that is random. These are small lanterns being placed along your path so you do not have to walk in the dark. If this message has stirred something deep within you, honor it. Write about what you are feeling. Speak it out loud in prayer. Share in the comments, not to expose anyone by name, but to affirm to yourself and to other Scorpios that you are choosing clarity over confusion, truth over illusion. And if you feel supported here, stay connected. Surround yourself with spaces, content, and people that remind you of your worth, your intuition, and your connection to something higher. Your journey doesn't end with this revelation. It shifts because of it. You are stepping into a chapter where your light is guarded, your heart is respected, and your spirit walks with the quiet confidence of someone who knows, deeply, that they are guided, protected, and never truly alone. And as you take this in, let me say this gently but clearly. What you are hearing now is not a sentence on your life, but a mirror held up to one possible path your soul is walking through. This story is a reflection of energies many Scorpios may feel, a whispered possibility, a spiritual thought experiment meant to help your heart put words to its own knowing. It is not a replacement for your own judgment, your own choices, or the wisdom of qualified professionals in areas like mental health, relationships, finances, or safety. If it resonates and brings you clarity, take the pieces that feel like truth and let them guide you with patience and compassion. If it does not, release it like a cloud passing across the sky, without fear, without attachment. Not every message is meant for every soul, and that's perfectly okay. At the end of the day, you are the one living your life, choosing your boundaries, deciding who sits at your table. Let this be, above all, a reminder of the power that already lives inside you, the power to walk away from what is false, the power to stay open to what is real, and the quiet, unshakable knowing that when God is protecting you, no mask, no manipulation, and no fake person can stop what is truly meant for your Scorpio heart.